Hi, everyone. This is Heather Hope Reed with the Manifesting Zone. Welcome. This is my very first episode of this podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. And let's begin. If you don't follow me on Facebook, please do so. I am the Millionaire Manifester on Facebook and on YouTube. This will also be on YouTube. My previous podcast is still out there, and it's called The Inspired Entrepreneur. Okay, let's get started, guys. This has been on my mind for some time now, and I've just been doing other things. So I've been inspired. I had a coaching call over the weekend, and she had mentioned that she listens to podcasts, and I was like, oh, I so want to get my podcast back. So I talk everything about manifesting, and primarily based on Abraham Hicks, Neville Goddard, Bashar, Bentino Massaro, a bunch of people. So that's what you'll be hearing from. And I've been doing manifestation teaching for many, many years. I was a therapist before and got into coaching, I think about 8 years ago. But I was a law of attraction, and then I really got into law of assumption. Personally, I think they're the same things, but they're just some semantics. But I won't get into that. But so I'll primarily be talking about law of assumption and Neville Goddard. Okay, so today's episode, I really want to just dive right into the title of this episode is going to be Know Your Power. So I have a fairly large following, and I have a Facebook group as well. It's called the Millionaire Manifestors Private Group. I just made it that easy to find. And I sometimes ask questions and to see where my people are with manifesting and their mindset and all that. And I'm noticing some who are just not knowing their power. Like most people, they just don't know their power yet. So this is just going to be me talking about that. And I have a group coaching call in about a half hour. So that's all I've got. So I have a membership called the Powerful Creators Society. And I have another one that is opening very soon called the Manifesting Zone. And that's where the name came from. So here we go. It's for more beginner level mindset work of really helping people get into the mindset of understanding how powerful their thoughts are and going from there. The Powerful Creator Society is a little bit more advanced. It's been open for a year, so it's gotten more advanced over time. So look out for all of this. Okay, so know your power, guys. You are so powerful. You are creating your reality in every moment of your day by the thoughts that you are having. By the thoughts that you're having, by the story you are repeating over and over in your mind of everything, everyone, yourself, your dog, your husband, your wife, your boss, everyone. You're creating it. You are the creator of your reality. And what's really cool about that is that since it's all you can change things to anything you want. There's no power outside of you. And once you realize that, then you know that you can have anything you want. You just have to change your thinking about it. So a lot of people don't like hearing that they're creating things. Well, I wouldn't have created this. A lot of things we create by not realizing that we're doing it, right? It's kind of this unconscious thing of we're not quite realizing that everything affects us. Everything that we put our awareness on, TV shows, movies, society, anything, Facebook memes, whatever you put your awareness on, you get more of. And over time, we have been conditioned to think and believe a certain way. You know, we tend to think that it takes a lot of hard work to be successful because a lot of people have proven that to be true. So we grow up in these, with these ideas, with these beliefs that, yeah, I watched my parents work really, really hard, and that's the only way to do it. Like, you can't just sit around and do nothing. You have to work really hard. And so that's how society at large works. And then when you come over to this side and you realize, oh, wait a minute, that's just a belief. And according to everyone in this field of, like, say, Abraham Hicks, um, just say Abraham, for instance, you can make anything true. You can make anything true. Your beliefs make things true. So if you could believe something different, believe something opposite, you can make that true too. So you could make it true for you that it doesn't take hard work to make a lot of money or to be successful or whatever it is. It could be, the more I relax, the more I meditate, the more I take care of myself, the more successful I'll be. Listen to that. The more I take care of myself, the more successful I will be. Because what do we see out in the world? We see a lot of people not taking care of themselves and working themselves into disease, into stress, which leads to disease, and then medication, and then surgeries, and then, it goes on and on, to strive to be successful, because that's what their belief is. I have to work hard. I can't take a day off. I got to work 15 hours a day, because that's what they believe. And they may become successful. That's the thing. If they work hard enough in their mind, then they will become successful, usually, but not always. Not always, because there's always more beliefs coming in. That's not the only belief that people have. They also have, well, money isn't easy anyway. Money doesn't come in easy. Money, as fast as it comes in, it goes out. All these various beliefs. So each one of us has a lot of beliefs going on. So what do we do? As conscious creators, what do? Well, number one, we stop saying and thinking the old story. That's really the first step, is to realize what it is that we're thinking, or you're thinking. First thing to do is realize what you're thinking and saying. If these beliefs resonate with you, then you have to take a look at them and be like, you know what? I don't want to work myself to death. I don't want to work myself into disease and stress. So I'm going to stop talking about it. And I'm going to stop, I'm just going to stop talking about it to my friends. I'm going to try to stop venting about things. I'm going to stop thinking about it. And then I'm going to start saying how I want it to be. I'm going to start thinking about it in the way that I want it to be. So that's where you sit down and you're like, okay, so what are some of these beliefs? You could write them down, and then you can write down next to it, what is it that I really want to believe? The more I take care of myself, the more money I make. The more I take care of myself, the more successful I become. The more I rest my body, the more I meditate, the more whatever it is. Because if you can say to yourself, the more I relax, which is good for your body, right? You're not wearing your body out, and good for your mind. The more I relax, the more successful I'll be. Because if you can relax, you won't be stressed out. If you can relax, you'll get really great ideas. If you relax, you'll be happier. So just to say that if I can relax, or the more I relax, right? It's not about if, it's about saying that the more I relax, the more successful I'll be. But just by relaxing, you feel better, right? And then the byproduct is you're going to be more successful because that's what you're affirming. That's what you're thinking. That's what you're affirming. You're feeling into that affirmation. You're like, God, that feels really good. I mean, the best affirmations are the ones that you create with your words and that feel good to you. Feel good, feel exciting, feel like, this is what I really want. I really want to feel good. I say it a lot on my page on the Millionaire Manifester of like, so one of the things that I did cure is major depression in my life. One of the things I had major depression with suicidal thoughts every single day for somewhere between 20 to 25 years. And I don't have any depression at all anymore. It's been a few years. None. It's gone. No medication. I used to be on medication years ago. It didn't really help at the time at all. But I got through this understanding this material better of like, well, I had to think differently. And over time, I was just focusing on being happy. So I say to my people on my page, I'm like, well, even if you just strive to be happy, like, why not? You know, even if, and I'm not saying you don't strive for everything else. Don't aim for everything else. I want you to have everything that you want in your life because I want it for myself and I want it for you. But if you're living this life and you're not happy, what's the point, right? I mean, that's how I lived for many years, unhappy. And so I know what it feels like. And it's just not, that's why I was so suicidal. I wasn't suicidal. I was thinking I didn't want to be alive. I didn't want to be here. So that's a terrible place to be because it makes just life hard. It makes everything so hard. So once I became happy, it's really all that it takes is just being happy. And once I realized that I can be happy anywhere, doing nearly anything, I like to stay in alignment, like working, being a manifestation coach, a mindset coach is what I do because I do it 24 hours a day nearly. So if I did something else that was just not my calling, my passion, I'm out of alignment. It's hard to line up with it. But everything else, like where I live, pretty much I can be happy anywhere. It's unconditional happiness. So it's not like, well, I'll be happy when I get the money. I'll be happy when I am successful. No, I'll be happy now. So I get some people that are like, well, how do you manifest with anxiety or with depression? And I'm like, I mean, I spent many years like that, trying to manifest things while I was going through a lot of mental anguish. And my first response is always, why don't you manifest that to be gone? And then everything else would be easier. Like life with depression or anxiety is really hard. Really, really hard, right? So what do? You aim for happiness. You aim for contentment. Like I'm content. And then lots of times during the day, I'm happy. So my baseline is pretty much content. Positive, hopeful, optimistic. All like 99.9% of my days. But so I would affirm, I would like to feel happy today. We're trying to bridge the gap from feeling not so great, feeling depressed, feeling whatever, to, bridging the gap to happiness. Can be a little tough, but let's continue with stepping into your power though, knowing your power. I tell everybody that, that they're so powerful. You are so powerful. You may not know it yet. But I'm here to remind you every single day that you are powerful. You just have to step into it. You just have to realize it. So it starts with your thinking. It starts with changing the thoughts into more powerful thoughts. Like, they're all powerful. Every thought is powerful. So whenever I'm working with a client, they'll tell me, well, lots of people tell me this. Well, I'm doing the affirmations and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, but my life doesn't seem to be changing, or actually it seems to be getting worse. And so my first question is, what are you thinking all the other times? Like, after you're doing the affirmations, maybe the mindset work in the morning, what are you doing all the other times? With my clients in my groups and stuff, I'm like, okay, so how many hours a day do you sleep? Let's say just 8, right? So 16 hours that you're awake, that you're consciously awake, what are you thinking? That's what matters. It's not the 10 minutes the 10 minutes of affirmations is very helpful, but what are you doing with the rest of the day? Like, are you getting upset with the world? Are you, when something, not so great happens, do you just say things like, oh, just my luck? Or why do things keep getting worse? Like, all of those reactions, all of those comments that are made to yourself, like, what is all that? That is what's keeping you in that. Does that make sense? Like, that's what keeps you stuck. I refer to Groundhog Day a lot, the movie Groundhog Day, where he's living the same day over and over. Well, doesn't it seem like we're living the same day over and over? We're creating the same day over and over and over, based on focusing on the same thing over and over and over, thinking the same things over and over and over. We're recreating the same exact day. So the only way to create a different tomorrow is to start thinking differently right now. It's the only way. There's no other way to do it. You can't wait till tomorrow and then, like, you're hoping for the best. Like, you're hoping that tomorrow's going to change when you didn't do anything today to change it, or last week. So the affirmation work in the morning, excellent. But when you're really trying to change your world around, change your life around, so I consider myself more and more, I used to say this all the time, of hardcore mindset. It's something that I said a lot in the past. And then it came back around recently because I've been so hardcore about mindset, about knowing that all your thoughts matter, and developing this solid mindset of, like, no, I am not going to let my 3D reality, the reality that I'm living in right now, control me. No, I'm not going to curl up anymore and cry about every situation. Like, I don't do that, but maybe I did in the past. I just don't recall it. I know I did. I wasn't strong. I wasn't strong about my thoughts. I wasn't strong about, yes, I can do this. I was kind of weak. And now I'm very strong. It's hardcore. It's hard, wired in me to be a lot less sensitive about things and just keep moving forward. So if I have some sort of negative thoughts, it's an instant, let's think about something else. Instantly. I don't allow my thoughts to get out of hand. I don't allow my mind to go down the rabbit hole of something negative. I don't do it. I don't do it. If something appears to be negative, I'm like, well, it's going to work out. I don't care. It's going to work out for me. Instantly, I start talking about how it's going to work out. I don't think about, worst case scenario. I don't think about what could happen. You're creating it every time you think those thoughts. So, say when you think of plan A, plan B. No, it's only plan A. Because if you start planning plan B, wherever your main focus is that's what's going to happen. So focus on what you want. Whatever you put your energy in is what you're going to get. So if something appears and it's not what you want, keep persisting. In your mind, in your talking, don't go down the rabbit hole of like, oh my God, see, things don't work out. I think a lot of people are doing that. They keep getting down. They keep going down with anything that happens in their life. It's like, see, things don't work out. See? And it's like, you have to give it some time. You have to give the reality some time to conform to your new thoughts. You persist in the new thought, in the new affirmation, in the new story. You persist. You keep persisting until it hardens into truth or into fact. That's Neville Goddard. Keep persisting until you get what you want. You stay strong. You say, I don't even care what things look like right now. It's going to work out. So if you want a stable life, you have to keep your thoughts stable, meaning where you want them to be, where you want your life to be. If you want your life to be stable, your thoughts have to be stable. If you're all over the place, your life is all over the place. It's not the other way around. It's not that your life is all over the place and then you react to it and then, then you see it and then you're like, oh, then you become all over the place. It's you. It's only you first. Same thing with people. So with Neville Goddard, he talks about everyone as you pushed out. So I work with relationships all the time. So basically, I work with everything. I work with a lot of business owners, which is primarily my focus, but I work with every aspect of a person's life. So love, specific person, all kinds of relationships, business, career, money, winning the lottery, all of these things within a person's life. So we cover everything. Every week in my group, we have a different subject we talk about, and we just cycle through them. Self-concept, business, money, love, SP, relationships, and physical and emotional health. I go through everything with my clients. Because basically, almost all my clients are over the age of 40, and women typically, but I've worked with lots of men. Right now, they're all women, and in a lot of people, typically, people want to change something in every area. So we go through the areas. You can change your whole life. You can change your whole life with just changing your thoughts and getting rid of some limiting beliefs as they pop up. As a belief pops out of your mouth, that's what I tell my clients. I don't go digging for limiting beliefs. They will pop out of your mouth as you talk. So once they pop out, because we can't not talk to somebody without a limiting belief popping out of our mouth. It just doesn't happen, right? There's always something to be said that is limiting. Like in some way, it could be the smallest thing or it could be the biggest thing, like inflation. Can you believe the price of eggs? It's all limiting. Yeah, it seems to be true, but guess what? You can make anything true. So you can succeed in the middle of the depression depending on your mindset. So, okay, guys, I'm going to wrap this up because I've got about 10 minutes before my group. But I hope this was helpful and that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, to my podcast. And I don't know what the posting schedule is going to be like yet. I just feel inspired to do this again. And yeah, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And I will talk to you on the next episode. Bye-bye.